Hey everybody, it's Katie, and I wanted to talk quickly today about alcohol-free days on the Sinclair Method. I want to talk about this because I think this is a common goal for a lot of people as they're getting going on the Sinclair Method, especially if you've been a daily drinker for a long time. You're eager to have days without alcohol as you're progressing on the Sinclair Method, and I just want to make a point today about the importance of coming from the right perspective and the right frame of mind when you are seeking out to have days without alcohol in the Sinclair Method. To me, the Sinclair Method is a really gentle way to undo alcohol dependence. You can kind of surrender to the cravings that you're having, and by doing that and by taking the medication and drinking on the medication, you are undoing this alcohol dependence in a way that's really gentle on yourself and not creating that internal conflict and that turmoil of craving and resisting alcohol that probably so many of us can relate to if you've tried to quit cold turkey or white knuckling it on your own. What do I mean by approaching it with the right frame of mind? So I see a lot of people in the online forums or elsewhere that are kind of challenging each other to alcohol-free days. And while I think alcohol-free days are certainly a noble goal and something that people will be seeking out as they're on the Sinclair Method and really making changes in their relationship to alcohol. But you have to understand that the alcohol-free day is just the result of what happens when you really start to heal this dependence on alcohol. When you really start to understand the reason you're drinking and the needs that you have that alcohol has been superficially meeting for a long time. So what I mean here is often people will have the goal to do alcohol-free. That's all they're thinking about. And so they might white knuckle it through it and make it through the alcohol-free day. But what is that doing for really changing your relationship to alcohol? In my experience, in my opinion, alcohol-free days should not be forced on the Sinclair Method. They should not be something you force yourself to do or challenge yourself to do just for the sake of doing it. For me, alcohol-free days are really what should come naturally on the Sinclair Method as you really start to undo this dependence and really start to understand the needs you have that alcohol has been superficially meeting for so long. So if you're someone who wants to have more alcohol-free days on the Sinclair Method and maybe you're struggling to get there, I invite you to really do inner inquiry with yourself. For me, you really have to understand, number one, the need you have that is causing you to crave alcohol or want alcohol right now. So understanding that need, and you can get that understanding by just inquiring with yourself, remaining curious, continue asking yourself that question. The answer might not always reveal itself, but just by asking the question, the answer is on its way to you. So why is it that I want to drink tonight? Why am I still drinking every day when deep down I know I don't want to? Just asking yourself these basic questions and continuing to do so and kind of allowing an answer to come to you. It will come to you eventually, sooner or later. And then number two is really understanding what else in the whole wide world, what else can meet this need that alcohol has been falsely meeting for so long. Is there any other thing you can do to meet that urge that you have? And this is where it really begins the work of learning new coping mechanisms and new habits and new ways to care for yourself that are less destructive and more healthy than alcohol. So just to give you a quick example from my life, for a long time on the Sinclair Method, I was still drinking on Friday nights, and I wanted to kind of break this habit, and I was wondering how I could do that. So the first thing I did was really start to ask myself, why is it that I'm stuck in this habit of drinking every single Friday? And the answer that came to me was that, you know, I was drinking on Fridays as a way to celebrate a work week like so many of us have, to really relax, to maybe indulge, to check out, just to not have to worry about anything, to really treat myself. And so when I realized that that's why I was drinking, I then started to ask, okay, what else can meet this needs? What else can I indulge in? How else can I relax? How else can I unwind from this stressful week at work? And one way I started doing it, this is what I started doing, is I love burgers, like cheeseburgers and fries and milkshake. Don't judge me. But so I started, like on Fridays after work when I was normally taking the Naltrexone, I started going to my favorite burger joint and like ordering a delicious burger and fry and milkshake and indulging in that. And after I did that, I wouldn't want alcohol anymore. I would feel like totally like that need was met with the delicious food I just ate, and I started to break that habit of drinking on Fridays. And so this just started to evolve in other ways too, where, you know, experiences or triggers would come up that would cause me to want alcohol, and sometimes I really would want alcohol and I would just take the naltrexone and drink and work on the Sinclair method that way. But I always allowed this spaciousness within myself to allow that inquiry to really happen. And over time, it allowed me to really get more clear on what needs I was having that I was using alcohol to meet. And then I started to uncover ways to meet those needs that were more meaningful and more healing and less destructive than alcohol. Now, eating a cheeseburger and fries and milkshakes, certainly it's not the most healthy way to cope with a stressful week, but for me it was way less destructive than alcohol. And it was also just for me about taking these baby steps, not trying to do too much, not trying to force myself to, you know, go on a meditation retreat because that's what I thought that I should do to overcome these cravings. It was like, no, it was really being real with myself and understanding in the moment what I wanted, whether it was alcohol or whether it was something else like a cheeseburger or an ice cream or some other way to kind of indulge myself and really let myself feel kind of relaxed and like I was treating myself. And so I just wanted to speak to this today, that if you're looking to incorporate alcohol-free days, the alcohol-free day, that whole action is really just a result of you understanding the needs you have and being able to meet them in other ways than alcohol. It's not so much about, you know, checking off an alcohol-free day on your list and being happy about that. Certainly that's great and it's worth celebrating, but to really make sure that you're approaching it from the right mindset and the right emotional space, and not just wanting to have an alcohol-free day because someone else has had one or you think you should have one, but really doing that healing work, that inquiry, that inner work on yourself, so that your alcohol-free days are happening from a place where you're feeling fulfilled and more whole and healed, and not just resisting alcohol for the sake of having an alcohol-free day. So yeah, to me, the Sinclair Method, as I said, it's a really gentle way to undo alcohol dependence. It's a way to really be kind to yourself and explore other ways. There are countless other ways that you can meet these needs that you have that you're using alcohol to meet. And it's going to continue to evolve over time. And the more you do that inquiry with yourself, the more answers will be revealed. It's not always so blatantly obvious, and it's not always easy. Drinking daily is definitely a habit that so many of us have fallen into, and so you have to kind of meet the Sinclair Method halfway and do the work on yourself, do the inquiry with yourself to really consciously break this habit, because again, it's so easy to be stuck in this daily habit of drinking, especially if it's become a routine you've done for so long. Even if your cravings are less, even if you're drinking less, you can still be stuck in this habit of daily drinking, and it does take conscious effort to really break that habit and start incorporating in other healthier behaviors and coping mechanisms to meet the needs that you have that you've been using alcohol to meet. So be kind to yourself. Don't force alcohol-free days. If you really want an alcohol-free day, just start doing that inner work, that inquiry on yourself to understand how else you can meet these needs that you've been using alcohol to meet. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. I'll talk to you soon. Please put your comments below, questions. I love chatting with you, and I know a lot of people tell me they're always reading the comments in the videos, so it's helping not only yourself, but helping others as well. So thanks, everyone. Bye. Take care.